Hello, good evening, Khoi.
Yes, good evening.
Okay, how are you?
Yeah, far.
Okay, so are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Have you able to modify your essay?
Yeah, but a little.
Just a little. Okay. Can you present that one to me now, or could it be next meeting, next time?
Can you speak again?
Yeah. Are you going to present it to me, or are you going to present that on the next meeting?
I think I will send on the next one because I want math is more impeccable and more
Okay.
accurate.
So that's going to be next meeting. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's a deal, huh? Okay, so I'm going to present our lesson now. It's a new lesson actually because, okay, just for a while. Okay, for a moment. Okay. Mm. Okay, can you see the presentation, Koy?
Um,
You can't?
yeah, I can see.
You can see it, okay?
Yes.
Okay, for a while. Okay. Okay, so this time we're going to discuss Unit 4. And Unit 4 in here would be getting from A
To
to
be.
B. So what do you think would be this one?
I
What
think
comes up in your mind when you say getting from A to B?
getting from
So
B.
is this the first time that you heard about getting from A to B?
Maybe the transportation.
Okay, so we're talking about transportation or maybe a place, right? It's
Yes.
a point. It's a point wherein you are going to go to B from A going to the B, right? So
Yes.
that would be getting from A to B or something. If you're talking about a point, so from point A to point B, right? So
Yes.
there would be connection. Before you can go to point B, you should have to pass through point A first, right? In order to go there. So it has connection. That's why the title of our lesson for today is about getting from A to B. And of course, under the lesson, we will be using again the skimming and
Yes. Scanning.
scanning technique. Okay, because these are actually the two are the best tool in order for you to understand the text or the passage effectively by the use of skimming and scanning in order to save time. Okay,
Okay.
and then aside from that, introduction to a labeling diagram. So we will be knowing what's a labeling diagram. How are we going to label a diagram? And then introduction to matching the
Heading.
headings. Yes, because in an IELTS exam, of course, this going to be a part of the test in the reading. Okay? And then in the listening part, so it should be introduction again to a labeling diagram, introduction to multiple choice questions, using a verbal signals to alert listeners to the answers. So this one is crucial because it needs a further knowledge of this one. So it's a skills again, using a
Yes.
verbal signals to alert listeners to answers. And for the speaking part two, it should be introduction to part two also, making notes, phrases to introduce a talk, introduce new points, and finish a talk. So that means you are going to speak, right? And then in the pronunciation part, we're going to study introduction to word stress. So there would be words, and we will be going to understand where are we going to put emphasis, the stress on that particular word when it comes to the pronunciation. Okay? And for the grammar, so we will be studying adjectives with the ed and ing. So making comparisons. So we are going to compare when we are comparing, of course we are going to say similar, so that is how we are going to compare. And for the vocabulary, we're going to understand high frequency IELTS vocabulary, such as existing, ensure, if yes and see, etc. And then words connected with traffic problems, congestion, smog, etc. And then the cost and make. Okay? And for the writing task one, introduction to tables. So we will be going to study also tables in here, comparing information and writing in paragraphs again, analyzing tables and charts. Okay, so it's of course a additional informations because we already studied about interpreting the graphs, tables and charts, right? But this one
Yes.
is more deep understanding on how we are going to analyze tables and charts. And for the spelling, so we're going to study the spelling changes when adding the er and the est to the adjectives. Like for example, when we say, okay, would you kindly give me an adjective? Loud. And then we are
Now,
going to compare that to louder. And then superlative would be loudest. So we're going to do the so-called the degree of comparison of adjectives. Okay, so that would be affirmative, and then we have also
yeah.
superlative or declarative first, and after that would be superlative. Okay, okay, so that's the objectives of our lesson, and maybe it takes maybe 2 weeks in order for us to finish this one. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
but don't you worry. So we're not in a hurry because these are all very important as part of the IELTS test. Okay? Okay. For the start off, look at the photos in here and then decide which of these forms of transport do you think is the cleanest? Would you kindly tell which of
I
this
think
transport would be the cleanest one?
the bowl is the bowl with many people on it.
So that would be the
The bowl, the last picture.
cleanest.
Yes, the last picture. The bowl, not
Why is it this one is the cleanest?
because it doesn't contribute to the air pollution or water pollution. It doesn't use any industrial energy to monitor it.
Yeah, because it doesn't what? It doesn't use what is this one? Poisonous gas, right?
That's it.
Okay. Not unlike with the following means of transportation because it needs a lot of there would be smokes, okay, and it's dangerous to our health. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then, what do you think would be the healthiest?
It is. Hmm. I think the boat
Okay. Why is it the boat is the most healthiest?
because we don't need to breathe this air pollution or gas from this.
Yes. Okay. So no, it cannot contribute too much to the
Yes.
pollution of the air. Okay. So that's the healthiest. So 2 points for this one because this one is a natural means of transportation. Okay.
Yes.
But of course, remember, this one is long, long time ago, right? But
Long
of
time.
course, at this time, we still use this one. A lot of people also using both, right? Especially those who are living in near the rivers and oceans, right? Still, it's a means of transportation, especially for those who are living in near the oceans, okay? Near seashore, okay?
Okay.
Okay. What about the noisiest?
Definitely the land, the flat,
The
the flat, air flat.
Okay. So the airplane, okay? So why is it you said that the airplane is the most noisiest one?
Because when you sit by it, we have a feeling of deep.
Yes, okay. Actually, there's something you can hear, right? Okay, and it's something. Okay, maybe if you are outside the airplane, if you can do that one, maybe there would be something. Okay, your ear must going to collapse. Okay, if you're going to hear the sound of that airplane outside. Okay, then what about, and of course, if the airplane near, maybe near your house, you can hear the sounds of the airplane, even it's just only passing by, right?
Yes.
Yes. So it's the noisiest. What about the most exciting means of transportation?
Um, Still the flat.
Still the airplane. Why?
Because through the window we can look all the thing below. Everything.
Yes. Yeah, actually, because you can be able to see the world.
Yes.
Okay? If you're going to ride in an airplane, you can be able to see what's in the world. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, what about the fastest?
Still the flat.
Still the airplane. Most comfortable,
Yeah, the flat too.
the airplane.
Yeah,
Most dangerous.
the flat,
And the quietest.
the boat.
Yes. Okay. So there are, as we can see in here, there are two means of transportation that meets the following category. So we call this one as category. But look at this one. Cleanest, healthiest, noisiest, most
Most
exciting,
fast,
fastest,
most
most comfortable, most dangerous,
quiet.
quietest.
Quiet.
Now, what have you observed with that particular words?
This is the superlative.
Yes, these are all adjectives, right?
Yes,
Okay. And we can say that this particular adjectives in here that we just recently used are all superlative in the degree of superlative degree. Okay. Because of the EST. Okay? But not all adjectives can be able to put the EST. Sometimes we just have to put mosts, like most exciting, because there is no word such as exciting guests. Okay? That would
okay,
be wrong. Then most comfortable, there would be no word such as comfortablest. Okay? And then most dangerous, there is no word such as dangerousest. Okay? That's
okay.
why we use the most. Okay, Koi?
Yeah, I
Okay,
get it.
now what about the other transports in here? Are there any use in here?
Yes, of course. Due to author demand, we can use corresponding to its purpose.
Yes. Another follow-up question, Koi. What types of transport do you use regularly?
Um,
Don't tell me it's the airplane. Okay.
I'm not that
Yes.
rich. I
So
yeah,
that would be
regularly.
picture number.
Wait, regularly we use every day or sometime or just 1 to 2 times a week.
Yeah, it could be three times. Yeah, but maybe we can say weekly, twice a week, right?
Yeah.
So what is that?
Sadly, that's I use my course only once a week.
Okay. So that would be the first picture.
Not a week because I use motorbike.
Okay. So no picture in here.
Yes.
Okay. Here in the Philippines, usually the what is this one? The most famous means of transportation in here would be this one.
Oh,
Okay? If you are commuting, right? If you wanted to save gasoline of your car, so you better ride a bus. Okay? And then there's also a train in here in the Philippines. We can also use this one in going to your work if your work is far in your place or from your place, so you can ride this one. Okay? Okay. So next activity. So for reading one, Koi, so our reading one says labeling a
okay.
diagram. Okay. So when you say labeling a diagram, what does it mean? On your own understanding before we have to tackle them, when you heard the word labeling a diagram, what do you think is that?
We reading the passage, of course,
Okay. And then,
and then we find the advantage of electric car with a mention.
okay. So when we are talking about labeling a diagram, Koi, I hope you can and I hope you do understand what's a diagram. So a diagram can also be a
The passage,
table. Okay, can also be a a graphs. Okay, can also be a chart. Can also be a graphic organizer. Okay, so that's a diagram. Now, in labeling that one, let's say, for example, you were given the body, okay, the full body of the person. So, that full body in the picture of a person is what we call a diagram. That's the diagram of the human body. Yeah, right? And
yes,
out from that human body, you are going to label the parts of the human body, right? So that is a diagram that you can label the parts. So of course you can say it's the head, there's an eye, okay, there's a nose, there's a mouth, there's an ear. So those are the parts that you can label, right?
yes,
Okay. An example like this, right? So this is a body of the car. So we can label that one. So we can say that the picture of the car is a diagram, and then we label the parts of the car, right? So that would be labeling a diagram. But of course, in here, we're going to read the passage about the cars, right? So passage about the cars, and then what do you think the passage will be about? Read the passage quickly again. Reading it quickly, that means you have to use
skip,
the
skip.
yes, scanning and skimming technique and find. The advantages of electric cars which are mentioned. Now, there's a guide question in here. What's
The
the keywords that we should have to understand?
the electric revolution.
Okay. What about here? We are going to understand the
Advantages.
yes, the advantages of electric cars.
Okay.
So that means you're going to read this, you're going to find the advantages of the electric cars. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So the title of this passage is The Electric Revolution. Now, if you try to look at the title, we can be able to tell right away that based on the following based on this passage, we can able to tell that it's all about an electric cars, right? Because from the title, it's electric revolution. So when you say revolution, what does it mean?
Um, revolutions
Yeah, of
is
course. If we are going to talk about revolution, there will be fight, right? Fighting. It's revolution. Okay? But of course, if you're talking about cars, so there would be what? There would also be fighting. Okay? Cars are fighting. Is that what you mean? That's why we have to say electric revolution. Okay, maybe they're fighting in the market. They're fighting for the rights in order for this electric cars will be approved and will be used in the public. So that's why they're fighting for that, right? What about
yes.
in Vietnam? I'm going to ask you at the current year, at the present, do you have an electric cars already?
Yeah, we have, but not
Oh,
very common or popular.
Here in the Philippines, we do have a lot. We do have an electric cars, but okay, sorry to say, you cannot use electric cars
What?
in long in a
Distant.
long trip. Okay, because that electric bike or electric cars is not for longer trip. It's not
Yes.
used for a longer trip, okay, because it's just only it's just only a certain kilometers in order for the battery to be used.
Mm,
Okay, so once the battery has been used, so you cannot be able to start the electric bike again, right? So that's the problem of having an electric cars. That's why there would be a revolution on how they will going to introduce that one to the market and to be used as means of transportation. Actually, here in the Philippines, we just use electric cars just in the city alone. Okay? But they are not allowed to what it is one? They are not allowed to use that one in highways.
yes.
Okay? So that's the rule in here. Okay? So I'm going to give you a chance, Koi, to read this one quickly, and then after that, let's discuss. So, can I give you time for this?
Yes.
Okay. So, can you read this for just only 5 minutes?
I read aloud.
No, no, no. Read that quickly. Read the passage quickly. Do not read it aloud, okay? Just read it by your eyes, and then after that, let's answer the question. Have you able to can you be able to tell me the advantages of electric cars after 5 minutes?
Okay.
Okay. So your timer starts now.
I thought.
You're done. Oh, so it's just only 2 minutes. Oh, very good, huh? So you can save time, right? So you were able to save 3 minutes out of 5 minute time. Okay. Okay. Now tell me now, what are the advantages of electric cars?
Advantages of electric car. That it can flux or
Okay, first, where can you find that words,
yes.
the advantages? Is it in the, this one is the first paragraph, because this one is the is the introduction, and then this one is the first paragraph of the body, the second paragraph, and then the third paragraph. Where did you found that?
The first advantage is exists in the second paragraph. They can be powered
Second
by
paragraph
the
of the
light
body, right? Because we have three paragraphs, we have
or
paragraphs in here, right? So the second paragraph of the body, and there you can find there. Okay,
um,
can you mention that one now?
I find two advantages in the second
Okay,
paragraph of body.
you found two advantages. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, first
First,
one.
the electric car can be powered by renewable energy, which reduces zero emission,
That's correct. Next.
and the electric motor are more efficient and can convert more than 90% of power into movement.
Okay, so
Yes,
that would be
two
the
advantages.
advantages. Okay. So now, what did you use? What technique did you use in order for you to answer the question in here? You just use, of course, the scanning technique, right? So
No,
actually, am I right? You use the scanning technique.
I use skimming.
You use the skimming. Okay, so you were able to look at all the words in here.
Yes.
Okay, and then yeah, okay, scanning and then skimming must be together. Okay, so
Okay.
it could be joined together in order for you to have a very good output. Okay, so maybe you use the scanning first because you were able to understand what would be the given or what would be the keywords that you need to answer. And then after that, you skim. Okay. And that's good. That's very good. Okay. So we don't need to read all the passage in here. Why? Because we just need to get the advantages of electric cars. And once you found that one, so answer. So if you answered it, you were able to save time, right? Okay. Again, if you were able to save time, where are you going to use that remaining time of yours? Through reviewing your
Answer.
answers again. So that's the benefit of saving the time. Okay, Koi?
Okay.
Okay. And of course, we still have another here, but now exam advice. So this one is an advice, IELTS exam advice for labeling a diagram. Number one, Koi, can you read that?
Find where the pictures is or deal with in the passage.
Yes, so find where the picture is dealt with in the passage. If that is just only one picture, find where the pictures are dealt with in the passage. Okay, so can we see a picture in this passage?
No.
No. Okay, sometimes there would be no picture, sometimes there would be only pictures. Okay, and try to understand the picture. Okay,
Yes.
then the second one,
Five words in the passage that mean the same as the words already on the diagram.
Yes. So the one that we did while ago, we find the words in the passage that mean the same. Like for example, advantages of electric
It's called.
cars, right? Okay. So we found that one. So that's good. The next one.
Decide what types of word you need for exams.
Yes, so decide what type or types of word you need to its gap, just like in the example in here, right? So this one is labeling a diagram. So all you need to do is you need to decide what type of word. Okay? There are a lot of words. Eight parts of speech. We have the noun, we have the pronoun. Nouns are words. Pronouns are words. Verbs are words, adjectives are words, prepositions are words, and so on and so forth. So all those are words. So if you don't know how to identify them, it's hard for you to fill in, okay, the missing gap. So
Yes.
therefore, it's very important the right decision. Not just only a guess, huh? There would be no guessing in here because if you just guess that,
No, we can.
yeah, there are only two, okay, two things that you might get. It could be wrong or it could be yeah, it could be correct. If you got the correct answer, right? Okay, and then after that, to Koi,
Underline the words you need in the passage and copy its term exactly.
yes, that's why. Okay, that's why you need to have a notebook, or maybe you need to have a note or a paper and a pen with you, because you have to shut down everything, especially the keywords. Write them down, and then after that one, you need to copy the same, or you need to expound the one that you wrote in your notes. So that is what we call note taking. So we are going to study also in here how we are going to have an effective note taking technique. Okay? Okay. So underline, that means, let's say, for example, you were able to what? You were able to find smart technology. So underline that one. Okay? You were able to maybe found better place, so underline that one, because that words, okay, are important maybe in answering some questions, so you have to underline that, and after that you have to write them or copy them, and after that explain it with your own understanding or words. Okay? So that is how you're going to label a diagram. Labeling a diagram. Now, look at this one. What's the instruction in here, Koi?
Complete the label on the diagram on the right. Choose
So
no more than
here's the diagram. Choose.
two words and or a number from the passage or the answer.
Yes. So that means we are going to choose in here, right?
Yes.
And then remember again, written in capital letters. What are those? In the instruction, no more than two words and or a number. That means the answer must limit only up to two words. But more than two words, it
It's
will not be accepted. Okay? So it's a word or words or a number or numbers, but not more than two words or two numbers. Okay, Koi? Okay. So let's try. to answer them. What do you think?
Hmm. Car connect to the charge point.
Again, car connects to
Charge point.
charge posts.
Point.
Okay, let's go
Okay.
back in here.
Wait. Hmm. I think top of top of yes.
Okay, so car connects to charge point
Yeah.
through,
Home
it's
charge
here,
point.
charge point in here.
Wait, what?
It's there. So car connects to blank through home charge point. Okay, going back in here.
Which is connect to um I think with electricity grid.
Okay, let's try.
Electricity grid.
Car connects to
Electricity grid through home charge point.
electricity,
Electricity grid.
okay, through home charge point.
Yes.
Where
Only
did you
this.
got that point?
The last the I think the conclusion the sec
In
the
the conclusion
sentence
part. In the
and the
conclusion part, in the second sentence, so it
yes
starts with the installation of a home charge point, and through this, the
we have
vehicle will be plugged into the
electricity.
electricity grid whenever
Yes.
it is in the garage, typically at night. Okay, let's go back in here.
Electric.
Car connects to blank through home charge point. Remember, huh? That car can be
Is
connected to that through home charge point. And what is that? Okay, look at this one. Here's the picture, right? So what do you think would be the picture? Okay, it's like this, and the
is home chest.
car, the
The home chest point.
the home
Chest point.
charge point.
Chest point. Yes.
But we use charge home charge point in here. So what
Um,
do we call this one? Car connects to,
electricity grid.
yes, through the home charge point. Okay, so this one is an electricity grid that is connected, okay, in the house, and then out from that you can be able to charge the car, right? So the
Yes.
car is charging now. Next, what about number two?
Battery allows
Battery allows
travel.
travel of up
So
to.
um,
Okay, let's go back.
I think 160 kilometer.
Okay,
160 kilometer.
100 and
60
160 kilometers.
no 160 kilometer. Okay.
Uh-huh. 160 kilometers.
Yes.
Okay, look at this one, huh? Existing battery systems only allow electric cars to travel a distance of between 100 and 160 kilometers. That means that is between 100 to 160. It could be
To
110, 130, 140, 150 to 160, but not exactly 160 kilometer. So
yeah.
maybe you can.
I think the last
But
sentences
look at this one, Khoi. In
of
cities.
of to
So battery allows travel of up to blank in cities. So we're
city.
not talking about the battery, the battery life. itself, but we're talking about the travel of that particular electric cars or car within the city,
Mm. Mm.
right?
Yes. Can you see the what do we call the third sentence of the last paragraph
Okay. The first or the third sentence of
of
the last
last
paragraph.
yes
Okay. So the car is capable as much as 160 kilometer in
uh,
urban monitoring conditions. Okay.
yes
Um, is it in, we're talking about city. So what do
city
you think?
is also mean
Or
urban.
urban is city?
Yeah, that's
Yes. Okay. So it's 160
kilometers.
kilometers in cities. That's
Yes,
correct. Okay. Next. What about number
battery
three?
can be recharged at supermarkets or shops.
Are you sure? Where did you found that?
I think the last sentence of last paragraph.
Okay, the last sentence, in addition to the home charge point, okay, there would be two charging point. So it can be charged it at home, and the battery can also be topped up by a charge points at
Words
work
of
and at
supermarket
supermarkets. Remember, we have three charge points: home,
as
work,
work and
and
supermarket
supermarkets. Okay, going back in here, battery can be recharged
shop as
at
home
home,
at home. Yes.
home, supermarkets, or
AlphaGo squeeze can feel two work at home, supermarket, and shop.
okay. So it's just only two words, right? No more
Yes.
than two words. So we can use two words in there. Okay, that's correct. Next, where's number four? Here, number four.
Car
Okay.
communicates with
This one, car
communicate.
communication. Oh,
What?
why is it's oh,
Okay. I think
okay,
it's
it's not complete. So, car communication with control
enter
center to
to receive
receive
power
power
at
lowest.
lower.
Oh, what
One.
is that? So, car communication with control center. Okay, let's go back to the passage.
Yeah.
Mm. Have you found it now?
Um.
Car communication.
I think 100 kilometer.
Where is that?
The first sentence, another second sentence, of course, paragraph already.
Okay. So the second sentence. So existing battery systems, that is what you mean,
Yeah, that's it.
only allow electric cars to travel a distance so between 100 and 160 kilometers. So let's try. Car communication with control central to receive power.
Um,
Okay. Lowest.
I
But we
think
have here the word lowest.
is. Wow, I didn't know this. Is letter no. Hmm.
Okay, let's try to skip that one because there's a lacking words in here, right? So we cannot exactly understand this one because there are lacking words in here. Okay, so let's try to skip that. Okay, next number five.
Blank
Blank
inside
inside
all
car
cases switch
locates switch stations.
locate switch stations.
Yes. So blank inside car. This one. So what do we call that? Okay, maybe in here.
I think so. Navigational system.
Yes. Okay. Where did you found that?
Does the line for?
Here, right? So it's the navigation system, okay? So because if you use this one, it can navigate, okay, the way where you're going to go to. Okay, so the navigation system inside car locates switch
Station.
stations. Next, what about number 6? This one,
Ooh.
blank at switch center will charge batteries.
Home chest point. No, no, chest point.
Okay, charge point
Chest
at
point.
switch center will charge batteries.
Yes.
Yeah, because this one is the charge point, right?
Yes.
Okay, but we cannot say charge point can be home, can be worked, can be supermarkets.
Yes.
So either of the three, but that would be the charge point. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Get it.
Wherein you can be able to charge batteries. Okay. Next question in here.
No. Do you think electric car will break disease?
Replace diesel,
Diesel or
or petrol
petrol?
cars.
Why?
Oh, that's that's the thing that you need to answer, huh? Do you
Ah,
think electric cars will replace diesel or petroleum cars? Why or why not? If your answer is yes, then you have to elaborate further, explain it further. If your answer is not, so why not?
I do think electric car will break disease or petrol car because we don't need to because we when we using electric car we will save up the soil, the natural soil of environment, and also it contribute to make our place more greener. And when we use electric car we don't contribute to the air pollution or water pollution or any
Yes.
contamination. Yes.
Yes, but remember the question here, do you think electric cars will replace diesel or the petroleum cars? Okay. You were able to mention your answer. Yeah, I got your answer. You were able to tell to the listeners that if you are going to use electric cars, you cannot emit what is one those dangerous smokes, right? So it cannot contribute pollutions to our to the world, but the mere fact that electric cars can just only reach a certain destination compared to those cars that have diesel or petrol. Okay? So for me, if you try to ask me, Koi, for me, I think, okay, for me, for my own understanding and point of view, I think electric cars cannot replace diesel cars and petroleum cars. Why? Because diesel cars and petroleum cars can reach long or furthest destination compared
Yes.
to electric cars. Yes, electric cars can be there, but that is just only within the city, within the area specified for that particular electric cars. But they could not circulate, okay, all throughout the city. Maybe going to the province, do not use electric cars. Okay, if you're going to travel, going to the province, do not use electric cars, right? Especially if it doesn't have a charge point in that particular area that you are going to go to. Yes? Are you agree with me? So in my opinion, I think electric cars cannot replace diesel cars. But, okay, pollution wise, yes, we can control the air pollution if we are going to use electric cars because it doesn't emit uh, harmful harmful gas. right?
Yes.
Right. But if we try to look at the other side of that, that particular electric cars can just be only within that particular area, but cannot move further.
But
Right?
I think, in my opinion, we can set up all the transport over a large area or even in the global. We can charge, we can recharge our battery everywhere.
Yeah, if the government will going to decide that every point there would be a
Exactly.
charging point, right? But look at this one, Koi. The charge time would be it took 8 hours for you to do the full charge. Then you are going to wait 8 hours before you can proceed, before you can travel again. Remember that, right? Where in diesel, if you don't have diesel, you can go to the gas station and have a diesel, right? And then you can ride again, you can drive again. So there would be no what? No distraction during your trip. Not unlike with diesel cars. Yes, we can put up charging point, but you should have to wait longer time before you can use that one. Okay?
Okay.
Is my answer make sense? Is my
Yes.
answer make sense? Yes, because
Right.
that's the reality. That's the reality, okay? Okay. So yes, we can use that one, but we cannot reach our destination, especially if we are going to go to the province. Imagine if our buses use electric bus, right? Like for example, are you going to ride in an electric bus? Traveling 2 hours from the city, going to the province, or more than that, right? So
Yeah.
if you ride in an electric bus, and then there would be point, okay, we have to uh, recharge at this point, and we will wait 8 hours until it become fully charged. So are you going to wait? Are you willing to wait until 8 hours?
No.
No, yes, right? Okay. Number two.
Would you like to have an electric car? Why? Why not?
Okay. Would you like to have an electric car? For me,
Yes.
yes. What
Me too.
about you, Koi?
Me too.
Yes, but there would only be restricted areas, right? Maybe
Yeah.
within just within the city. Okay, they can, or maybe this one. If I would be the president, okay, if you're going to ask me, if I would be the president, I would require all the buses to
Mhm.
operate only in the provinces, right? Um,
Yes.
yes, and then all the electric cars will going to operate within the city, so that it will be a give and take relationship, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, like trains can operate, of course, because they have also furthest destination for that trains. Then airplanes can operate too, but uh, electric cars can operate within the city, and then within the province would be the buses. Oh, it makes sense, right?
Sure.
Yeah. What about you? Do you like an electric car also?
Yeah, I would like to have this car because I'm proud I can contribute a small effort in preserving the nature's environment.
That's correct. Why? Especially within the city, so that the city is now free from pollution. If
Yes.
you are going to impose that electric cars within the city, right?
Mm.
Oh, that's a good idea. So one of these days, if you become the president of Vietnam, So
No,
you
no,
are going to impose that one, okay?
cannot.
And then I'm going to invite you here in the Philippines to talk about that project.
I
Okay,
look
Koy?
at yes.
Oh, so one of these days, okay? So I'll have to wait for that. So I'm going to um to maybe to say President Khoi. Okay?
No need
Your
to use
Highness, okay?
for.
Your Highness President or President Khoi,
No,
the President of
don't
the
call me like that.
Republic of Vietnam.
Don't call me like that.
Okay? Okay. So, do you have questions with this, Koy?
No question.
Okay. So, there's another diagram in here. Okay? So, labeling a diagram with a multiple choice. Okay?
Yeah,
So, multiple choice. So, where is the multiple choice?
it's free to choose what we think.
Okay.
Multi-choice, we can feel how many, we can feel how much work we can feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay. So we have here, what do we call this one? It's a ferry
facility.
facilities, right? Okay, so in a ferry facilities, we have to remember that we have the A deck, the
In
B deck, and we have the C deck. Okay,
yeah,
number one. So this one is the reception,
you are here.
and you are here. Okay? So where can we find this? In the B deck,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
yes.
Number one,
Rest
restaurant for
for
a.
super breakfast or lunch or meal.
Okay. So it's a superb. You use superb.
Yes.
Okay. Or delicious. Can we
No.
can we say that?
We have to use the
Sumptuous.
noun.
Again.
Delicious have to use the noun.
Okay. So restaurant for a some
Delicious.
delicious,
Super.
superb
Lunch.
lunch or meal.
Breakfast. A meal.
Okay. Okay. Next, what about, oh, look at this, lounge with reclining seats. So in the lounge with reclining seat, we can find in there. So what deck is that? Where is that deck? The lounge.
That's B.
It's decked A, right?
What? What? Ah, yeah, yeah.
Deck A,
That's it.
yes. So that would be the deck A. Okay. Next, number two. We can
Cinema.
find in here the cinema tickets available at,
That's B.
okay, at deck B. Next, number three,
Cabin.
the cabins or the cabins
Obtain.
obtain blank from steward.
Cabin. Obtain what?
Obtain blank from steward.
I think obtain that's C from steward.
Okay, so deck C. Okay.
Really?
Okay, next. What about number four?
Um, I think
Blank and games area.
um, well, that's B and game areas.
Okay, so deck B and games area. And number five, open air,
Open air and a deck.
A deck. Okay, now this is what we call labeling a diagram using a multiple choice, Koi. So,
Yeah,
what are those choices? There
three
are three
choices.
choices in here, the A, the B, and the C. So, the deck A, deck B, deck C.
Stick.
Okay, so in IELTS exams, there would be like this kind of question.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
wherein, yes. So this one is just very easy. Okay, actually, this one is very easy compared to this one. Okay, sometimes if you do have a passage and then you do have also, you are going to label taken from the passage, it's going to be difficult. Okay? Because you need to do the combination of scanning and skimming. Okay? You need to do a lot of understanding about the passage, because if you cannot understand the passage very well, you are going to keep on repeating, keep on reading, keep on reading until such time that your time has been lapsed, right? So
Yes.
again, you need to read that with understanding. Okay? You, as much as possible, read them quickly using scanning and skimming, but need understanding. So that would be comprehension. Okay, Koi? So that when you reach the question all about all about the labeling, you can be able to fill in the gaps
Yes.
from the passage. Okay? Okay. Do you have questions with this?
No question.
No more. Okay. Now, in the listening activity, we are going to discuss this one next meeting, Koi. Okay? So,
Mm.
of course, I have to give you an idea of this. You are going
Yes.
to hear an information announcement for passengers on a ship. Before
Yes.
you listen, look at the diagram above and answer these questions. So, the diagram in here, right? Okay. So look at that one. So the questions are here. What are you on the plan? Or where are you on the plan? So you can be able to right away tell if where are you on the plan. You are on deck
Ferry.
B. Yeah,
B.
reception. So you are here. So you are on the deck
B.
B. Then which places are on a deck A? Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay.
Game areas. I only remember.
Okay, so under the deck A, we can say
No,
the
no, no, no.
open air.
Open air.
Yes. Aside from that, we can also
Rest.
say the restaurant. We can also say the lounge and the reclining seats are there also. So that would be under the deck A. Okay, so that is just how you are going to answer the questions out from the choices. Okay, Koi?
Okay.
Okay, that would be labeling a diagram using multiple choice. Because you are going to what? You are going to select from here.
Yes.
Okay? Okay. So we're going to continue discussing this one in the next meeting, Koi. We'll see you again this coming Saturday. Do you have any questions so far?
I will make sure that I will improve my task writing, and
Yes.
I'm certainly that you will satisfy with my task writing.
Yes. Okay. You have to finish writing that one so that this coming Saturday we can go back to your writing tasks, and then let's comment on that, and then after that we have to continue this one. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So thank you so much for your time. Have a good night, Koi. Bye bye.
Yes. Have a good night too.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.